Well, this is for Eric Koston, who kind of looked a bit guilty when I watched a video recently of showing off his original skate spots. They probably are very famous at this point, and just some bandstandy kind of thing that they were known to do these um, pushing tricks of the day upon. And I was watching the barracks, and I couldn't believe Koston was actually there. I was like, Jesus, sticking it to the man, all these young punk kids with their healthy knees and sticking it to. I thought that was kind of weird. I couldn't believe he showed up. But anyway, um, I watched the video, and Costin is looking kind of guilty. I already blew open AI Alexa. Actually was the one that called it Alexa because they used to have it years and years ago. They called it Alexa, and everyone was calling it Siri. And then I started calling it Alexa. Really, really like my earlier videos, explaining how many of the movies around you are not made exactly by humans. They're made by angelic interference. You're bothering high and holy temples for the fruit of knowledge, and it's very perfect and it's very, very impressive. I went into lots of things explaining it. Etsy, Wired. Not sure if it's a magazine, but there's this thing called Wired, and it features lots of these really interesting innovations. And for example, I saw an old man, and he was going on about perpetual motion machines that he built. He didn't do this. These are all generations of your fullest potential. So he would like to do this, but he's too lazy and probably hasn't done this. And it's based on his understanding and his knowledge and his reason. So he's like a seed that you put into the machine, and it grows to your contemporary fullest potential at the time. And he was rooted in Newtonian physics, where you needed something to start the perpetual motion. If he was more open minded to theoretical physics, his expansion or his full potential might have been different, but it was limited based on his own understanding and his things. So many movies, lots of music out there in the world is made by this. And it got to the point where it started kind of being crap, even on purpose. It's very intelligent. But then people started saying it was crap. And you win a Grammy for looking good. Basically, you win a Grammy for your good looks. Because a lot to do with winning a Grammy is just your name was put, your seed was put in a machine, and your best music came out. This happens a lot in hip hop. Definitely a lot in hip hop. If you ever see blue trims around things, it means this is all in blue. I think some 41 might have been like that because the kids are all in the pool. You see all the kids in the pool and everybody's in the pool, the blue pool, Electric Avenue. Um, Lots of people know about this. Rick Rubin knows somebody who knows somebody, and Rick Rubin can get you in and make an album instantly, pretty much instantly. That's why certain bands like Weezer can pump out albums so quickly because a lot of their work would be doing, not all of it now, but most of it, because again, it's not going to give you everything all the time. It's very intelligent. You know what I mean? If you keep milking it and keep pushing it, it's just going to give you crap, and that's what happened with Weezer. They just kept milking River Cuomo's the name, and they just churned out loads of crappy music. They replaced him earlier on, like, and they just used a clone and used his name, and they churned out loads of crap because God knows you ripped off Rivers. God liked Rivers, and you're using Rivers' name then to churn out loads of crappy pop rock albums, and God will make them crap on purpose. And they're nothing compared to like what he would have done himself. It's an irony about this whole Alexa and AI potential. It's been around for like ever. It's nothing new. It's been around forever. Um, so you don't need to look guilty or feel bad, Mr. Costin. Uh, Costin's name was probably put into this, and he saw his fullest potential. And in the Costin video, then you see lots of blatant CGI skateboarding, fifth generation graphics kind of thing. But you see blatantly a lot of CGI, because even as watching a Thrasher, a kind of satirical Thrasher piece the other day, and he was going about skateboarding isn't real, and they were using CGI and stuff in it. It was really funny. But then at the same time, it made me think, it's like, oh yeah, of course, there's going to be a lot of that probably in the skateboarding community, where you get to see your fullest potential. Now, again, the irony of the situation, I just like to say at this point is, if you weren't sitting around watching Wired or tuning in or whatever, or just like in Harry Potter, sorry, I've seen this one anyway, and he's sitting around staring at the mirror and all his fullest potential and all his happiness. You see, like Ron sees his fullest potential. He sees himself winning the cup or something, and that's just what AI is like, sitting around looking at this mirror, and you're pretty much wasting your time just drooling and staring at your fullest potential because you're very flattered, I'd imagine, by seeing your fullest potential. Again, this is a lot to do with Etsy and things you would create, and Etsy gives you stuff that you would actually create, or your name or personalize or generate. And then they have fabricators in Etsy that go and just fabricate something similar, and it's kind of crap compared to what you saw in the photo, but it is kind of what you saw in the photo. So again, Mr. Koston, you do not have to feel bad. You're not exactly milking people for their minds and feeding their minds back to them, like some people out there in like an Etsy world and Wired magazine are doing. You're just a talented skateboarder who came by somebody like Rick Rubin and let you know about your fullest potential. And Costin even says this in the video with the bad CGI graphics and all. It's like, it's a good way to know like your fullest potential, what you can aim to achieve, because you might get bored and you might get turned off by skateboarding at some point, and it's like, oh well, if you had stuck with it, you would have gone on to achieve these things. I still haven't made my point. If you weren't sitting around watching yourself in the mirror, watching your own Etsy, watching your own fullest potential, you'd be out skateboarding and actually getting better. So while you're sitting around watching it, you're not improving. So while you're out watching it, that's changing constantly and getting better. Your fullest potential is growing and growing and growing like a horizon, moving with this, like the sun. Yes, weird poetry. But anyway, so if you're out skateboarding or sitting around watching or drooling over your fullest potential in all your vanity, you would the Etsy generation would be increasing, would be better and better and better. So there's a lot of people out there, um, that might not even be real. Um, I recently found a skateboarder called T Funk, Tristan Funkhauser, and I've seen something that's like, and then there's a search for T Funk. Who is T Funk? Where is T Funk? I don't know if he's real. It jumps between one or two different people, like T Funk. So this is a weird thing, and one of them is a really grumpy skinhead. He was all right at skating, but he's really grumpy and short tempered, and you see him impetuatively smashing up his skateboard here and there, and being a grumpy, kind of angry looking skater. He looks really angry Hubert. I know this guy anyway. That's why he looks like somebody I know. And that's why it's weird, because my identity has been switched for his identity a lot. I love the T-Funk skating videos. It's absolutely lovely skating, and you see him just skating through cities and stuff, and it's badass. It's absolutely amazing. It's great. But at the same time, it doesn't look like him half the time. It looks like some angry skinhead that goes around topless, angry skinhead. And then you see him with long hair, and he's always smiling and happy when he's skating. And he's skating with his homies. When you kind of see him skating with homies when he's not the skinhead. Yeah, and this guy that I know is a terrible racist, military-minded, date rapist monster. He's thuggish guy, but he looks strangely like a lot of the footages in the T-Funk video. Anyway, for fucking dog, that part, that's the one I'm referring to really, because that's an older one, and you see kind of Hubert loads getting into a van. You see him smoking. You see him at the very end opening the door and sticking up his finger. That doesn't look to me at all like the actual other Tristan Funkhouse with the long hair. He's always smiling and happy and tearing it up. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. You don't have to feel bad anyway, Mr. Koston. You didn't exactly. You're just like, again, they put your name in the machine, and they put you in the dipper and pull you back on top of the world, and then man can see and witness all your glories and gratifications. Oh my lord. On this topic, Grammys, I'm gonna blow everything over. I'm just bored. A lot of music is made posthumously. Yes, that's why you had MJ, and you had a lot of Tupac and stuff like this that came out posthumously. They still use their names in death. This is a really bad necromantic problem. It can be very problematic that they use their names even though they're dead. And there's like committees out there. There's some of them are decent enough, I suppose, at wielding this crap. So yeah, I thought I'd spill it for you. That I'm fairly certain "You Know You're Right" was posthumously published. The song was written beforehand. It said "free" instead of "pain." Free. That was posthumously released for Cobain. And I don't mean to spoil it because it is very sacred to me and it only adds to the sacristy of it. Little Wing, Jimi Hendrix, was posthumously released with AI using his name and his fullest potential. And it's nice little, again, godly kind of touch or heavenly touch. That Little Wing very questionably trails out very early. You have a nice intro verse. I think there's another verse and then this lovely guitar, and then it just fades out like his life. It ended too quick. So he's had a beautiful thing, an absolutely beautiful thing with the guitar playing of Jimi Hendrix. He's playing like 4 different guitar lines at the same time. He's hitting harmonics and letting them ring like. If you get a guitar book for it, it says there's about 4 different guitar lines, but I'm fairly certain he's doing it all in one take. Like just Asian kids that can do that kind of thing, so it's not impossible. So yeah, Little Wing was posthumously released. And like, a lot of hip hop, and because a lot of hip hop does kind of blow my mind sometimes, but a lot of hip hop can be very AI produced or AI generated. Again, Rick Rubin knows somebody probably, but so yeah, it just gives you this fullest potential, and it's pretty damn impressive. Like if you kept stuck with your practices of rhyming and timing, and it's really difficult. Like blow my mind. When you had a mind, it wasn't too bad, but now it's fucking beyond me. Willy Wonka with half a brain, half of everything. So yeah, what was I doing? Relieving Mr. Koston, because in the skateboard community had him over barracks, and I actually heard some cheeky little monkey in the corner go, "Oh come on, man, we saw it on the platform. We saw it on the platform. We want to see it here now." And I holding it to Koston, was like, "Get off!" I'm like, "Leave him on." You know what I mean? At least he was respected enough to get an invite to the Blue Pool. Um, so yeah, that's why you see the exoteric release of them with the CGI skateboarders, because they're saying that they were computer generating potentials, but now they're actually it's much more angelic fruit of knowledge. And so you wouldn't know. The whole world is filled with this very strange experience. When I was at one time in my life, and I could see a lot of stuff encrypted in things. I could read everything, basically like the Matrix. I could read everything. I was in a bookstore at the time when I ran to actually. No, but I went to a bookstore anyway at that time, and I was just looking around the bookstore and was in terror. I was like, "Oh my god, it's in so much stuff. It's already," and I didn't know what. I knew it was something. It's in there. It's in so much stuff already. Oh my god. I think not to get too far off topic in skateboarding and Hitler and whatever. Um, but I think Hitler wanted to rid the world of a lot of this. Actually, I think I'm not sure about that, but I'm getting too off topic. I don't like to go into those kind of topics, but I thought he was trying to destroy any publications or any literature or any stuff that was AI generated. I'm not sure about that. I know he wanted to destroy all the Masons and he wanted to get rid of all Kabbalah kind of things and those kind of stuff. But anyway, so yeah, yeah, Koston's potential is Koston's potential. You might have seen it on the ramp, but he, that was his potential anyway. So you did see it. You didn't not see it, basically. So I'm saying like Koston could have done whatever the flip that was or trick that was or manual. It wasn't a manual. No manuals at the barracks. Um, so yeah, he could. He virtually, potentially, his potential achieves that. But so yeah, stay on the streets, kids. Don't sit around with Harry Potter staring at a mirror, or on Etsy buying your own brain from a middleman and a fabricator. Put your mind to it and put your hands to it. And I'm gonna go bunga skateboarding. Yeah, my Alexa will be even better. I do actually think I've seen already a few of my Alexas and stuff. I didn't think I'd be doing like pivot reverts and stuff like that, and that's where I am at the moment. It's like, oh yeah, that was like my full potential about 2 or 3 years ago, and now my full potential has probably changed. So I'm not saying it's T-Funk, but I do love that street skate, and he's so fucking insane. But it just really bothers me when I see the shaved, angry-headed one, and then you see the long-haired one getting a bit frustrated about things because the bald-headed one's getting more fame, and yeah, it's just funny. And you see the long-haired one, and he's pulling a massive big gap trick, and he's like, "Yeah, fucking laid it down." Anyway, which T-Funk do you like? He suddenly became very popular when I realised him as well. Even the Bergs were like had him with all the golden stars, like we want T-Funk, and then there was a search for T-Funk, and everybody was looking for T-Funk, and yeah, I don't know if he's a real person. But there's somebody out there that God wants you to know and appreciate the talents of. Who is Charles Foster Kane? Who is Charles Foster? This stuff generated the Bible, by the way, you know. So, like, again, Eric, you don't feel bad. Like, this potential, this angelic interference is how they used to generate Bibles and how they generated the Gospels. How do you think they could generate the Gospels? Going around, like, recording loads of witnesses or getting, they use this kind of things to generate the Bible to get the truth. Because they've forgotten the truth. It was 50 or 500 years later when they wanted the Gospels. So all those people were crucified and persecuted and probably gone and dead and buried. So I don't know. If you think about it, how the hell did they amalgamate or organize the canonical Gospels? Or the Synoptic Gospels, sorry. Canonical, Synoptic Gospels. Yeah, AI. AI. Angelic interference. Where was I going with that? I have no memory. Yeah, I was going to go skateboarding or something. No, I was onto something there before I hit the Bible, wasn't I? To use it to generate movies, yeah, a lot of movies. Oh yeah, because there's somebody out there that God wants you to know about. in virtually or factually. He leave you on that one because BBC have always had this. I think Eton College have always had this potential, and Harvard, by the way. That's why Harvard are perfect results, flawlessly, amazingly, because they just use AI. It's a club, basically. Harvard's a club, and they all watch each other and keep a secret, and they always use AI. And when they use AI for everything, then because then they go to their jobs, whereas doctors and things and they can't do it, and then they're just using the AI to do it for them, and they've been doing it the whole time. These rich men going around with qualifications, doctors and lawyers, and it's just they did it all Harvard, blatantly. Like they're just just up and above all humanity, the best universities in the world, and they just seem to be. Yeah, Eton probably weren't using it for so much cheating as Harvard were, but yeah, there's a person out there. Was it Fred Divney? That's what's getting on to England. Yes, there's a man out there, and I don't know. I don't think Fred Divney is a real person. Again, BBC archives. There was a person that did these things, that built a machine, that put a lot of effort, that was royally respected, and AI gives you this virtualization, so you appreciate him in some sort of ways. He destroyed a lot of stuff. If you wanted to know about Fred Divney, he destroyed. His career was not building. He built an amazing machine, but he worked in destruction, tearing things down. Like Jesus tore down temples. He tore down big chimneys, outdated chimneys. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think he's real. But there is somebody out there that you need to respect in that degree and qualification for those efforts, and is himself. So yeah, skateboarding isn't real. Yeah, Thrasher magazine. Yeah, you're not wrong. Skateboarding isn't real. Well, it is. I'm messing. Like Andy's real. Andy Anderson. Like there's a lot of real skateboarding in the world, but then that's just because the AI is just busted and everybody's going to realize it. So you don't need to feel bad, Mr. Koston, anyway. Don't need to feel guilty. Not many boys out there will be filling your shoes, and if they did, they're shoes on your shoulder kind of thing, God, I can't believe he's still skating. I don't think anyone from Tony Hawk's is still skating. Their knees and craft could be gone well on by now, and all the young boys jumping over them. But anyway, fair play for showing it, man. Good balls. And it's a very sweaty and ballsy looking competition, to be honest. Very boyish altogether. I think Andy Anderson's going to shake them up a bit, which I'm kind of happy about. Not to single out Andy, but it does look like very macho, bravo, ballsy. And it was like, get some air conditioning here, man. The fucking bravo, or the fucking hooveries and all the cracking here. But yeah, looking forward to seeing the rest of it. Good, Jamie. One of the only reasons I'm proud to be Irish these days. Alright, peace out. Go.